Affordable, efficient, and spacious. Most people don't need anything too crazy with their daily driver. The question is, does the Nissan Altima fit the bill? Well, we have driven everything, so we're the ones to ask.
Edmunds drives, tests, and rates hundreds of cars each year. As trusted experts, we've teamed up with CarMax to help you make the best car buying decision.
The Altima is Nissan's midsize sedan, so it slots in above the compact Sentra, but below that old Maxima. It goes against the very well-rounded Toyota Camry, the highly rated Honda Accord, and the feature-packed Hyundai Sonata. But unlike that competition, the Altima does not offer a hybrid. We know that price is probably the most important factor in most car buying decisions, and we have very good news here. A used Altima will cost you a lot less than other cars like this. You'll save around $4,000 compared to an Accord or Camry, and about $1,000 or so compared to a Hyundai Sonata. And look, we get it, affordability is important, but trust us, you do not want to buy a car based on price alone. So, before we get into what this vehicle is like to live with every day, we're going to check out crash test and reliability ratings. Now, for this kind of data, we use RepairPal, which is an independent reliability tracker, and things look pretty good for the Altima. It gets a 4 out of 5 rating, which puts it at 11th out of 24 midsize sedans. So what that means is your annual repair costs are going to be below average, and your annual repair frequency will be below average as well. So you're probably not going to be spending a lot of time in the shop with this guy. Now, when it comes to crash testing, the results are relatively strong here as well. The Altima earned a 5-star overall safety rating from NHTSA, and although it missed out on awards in recent years due to the IIHS introducing newer, stricter criteria, the Nissan did get a top safety pick plus from 2021 to 2023. So, no red flags when it comes to price, reliability, or crash test ratings, but what's it like to live with one of these cars every day? We'll go over some of the reasons why you might pick or pass on the Nissan Altima. Now, we've driven all the competition, and one thing we really like is the level of driver's assistance that you get in the Altima. So in this car, you can get Pro Pilot Assist, and we know manufacturers have got different names for all of their driver assist, and it's really confusing. But what Nissan is talking about here, that is their name for their adaptive cruise control and lane centering technology. In Edmunds testing, our road test editors found the adaptive cruise system is really good at naturally braking and accelerating with the car in front of you on the highway, and the lane centering feels very confident. And these features were standard on the Altima SL and Platinum and included on some Altima SVs. Some cars like this that we've tested only have lane keep assist instead of lane centering, and that only gives you steering assistance to bring you back into the lane if you're drifting toward the lane lines. The lane centering and adaptive cruise control combination means that on long highway drives, the car system can relieve some of the work of driving, as long as you always keep your eyes on the road and you're ready to take over. Oh, and it's actually very quiet and drama-free inside here, which is kind of surprising for a vehicle like this. A lot of the competition, they've got like really noisy engines, or there'll be some harsh vibrations that will make their way up into the cabin, but the Altima does a great job at just isolating the interior. Oh, and the seats are really comfortable, and you guys, this is a really nice way to spend some highway miles. And while you're out here on the road, you're not going to pay too much for fuel either. Now, granted, Nissan did not build a hybrid of their midsize sedan like their competitors did, but the most common model that you'll find with the base engine and front-wheel drive, you guys, it gets 31 miles per gallon. Now, one advantage of the Altima over the Honda Accord is that the Altima has an all-wheel drive option that you can look for. And what's nice is that the gas mileage is basically the same. Plus, when Edmunds took an all-wheel drive Altima like this one out on the test loop, we averaged 34 miles per gallon. We beat the average. And some owners report even higher numbers on the highway. Now, obviously, your results will vary based on temperature, elevation, and driving style, but it looks pretty good for the Altima. But one pro tip to make sure you're getting the best mileage, make sure your tires have the right amount of air in them. When your tires are too low, your MPG will suffer. So a simple monthly check can actually make a difference in your wallet. Now, there are plenty of reasons to buy an Altima, especially when you consider the used market pricing, but there are a few things that might make you want to stay away. And the first thing here is build quality and materials. So we've had a lot of Altimas in for testing, and they just don't seem to be as well put together as some of the other vehicles that we test. We've noticed some foam kind of peeking out between the dashboard and the windshield, some really cheap looking creaky plastics. I mean, basically, if you've been in the redesigned Honda Accord or the Hyundai Sonata lately, you'll get what we're talking about when we say that the interior here is just a notch below in terms of quality than the competition. Some owners also reported quality issues. Now, we know that on the used market, this car is more affordable than its competitors, but this was still disappointing. And then there is the tech. Now, we've got the smaller screen here, so Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is wired, but if you get a 2023 and newer vehicle with the larger screen, you can go wireless. And we very much recommend that you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto because while the screen itself is pretty responsive, the graphics are terrible. They're just really blurry and dated looking. And also, every single time you put this car into reverse, you're treated to a camera that looks like it was taken right out of a Gen 2 smartphone. Look, the Nissan Altima is not perfect, but it is a car that's very easy to drive. It's got good MPGs, useful driver's aids, very impressive crash test and reliability ratings, and it has a price that other used midsize sedans just cannot touch. So, what do you think? Is a used Nissan Altima right for you, or is there a better choice? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.